Hello, my name is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel, and today you're going to be watching me read a big ass book. That big ass book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and this is pretty much the bane of my existence. This book was on my 20 books to read in 2020, which I did not accomplish because I've been trying to read this since the early part of 2020. Every single time that I get it from the library, I try to read it, I never finish it, and then I return it to the library, and pretty much I get to basically chapter 1 or 2 and that's it. I just cannot get past it. There's something about this book, and I think there's just like something in my intuition that tells me I'm not gonna like it, even though I should like it, and I just don't want to read it. This time around is the farthest I've ever gotten in this book. I am on page 87, which is shocking. I even have the audiobook version, and I am just having such a hard time reading this. I've already been trying to read it for like 2 days before I decided to make this opening. It's not really looking good for this book, and if I have to DNF it, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go halfway, and then I'm gonna DNF it, and it's gonna happen, and I just have to let myself do it. I really want to finish this, but there's a part of me that feels like I'm just not going to. But I'm gonna try it anyway. And right now, I'm gonna go grab my Target order, and I'm gonna go get a smoothie, and then I will talk to you about this book a little bit later, but I need to turn my air conditioning back on, and I need to go get my smoothie on. So I found some shade at Target while I'm waiting for my order to be ready to be picked up, because I literally submitted and then just like left the house. So I have a little bit of time, but I also want a little bit of time to read, because again, I want to force myself to read this. And I got my smoothie. It's called a Wave Bender. It literally tastes like sunscreen in a cup, but I like it. Anyway, let me give you a little bit of background on Ninth House as a book. It is basically about a girl named Alex Stern, and she is basically chosen to work with this like Yale secret society, and like this secret society, they work with ghosts, and they basically oversee all of the other Yale societies. I don't know, it's very confusing. I really, even almost 100 pages in, still have no fucking clue what's going on, and I really still don't understand like what her job is. But she was basically chosen because she can naturally see ghosts, and the people that are in like this secret society club, they can see ghosts only if they like take this elixir, and every time you take the elixir, you're also risking your life, because like basically your kidneys can shut down, you can die. And so the fact that she can see them naturally, she's a huge asset. Even though she dropped out of high school, she's done a lot of drugs, she was found like at a crime scene or something, and then her mom is like a California hippie from LA, and she gets shipped off to Yale, and that's really all we know. And then Darlington is everyone's like favorite dude, and he's basically a really proper Yale guy who's in the secret society, and he basically helped take her on as like an apprentice, and for some reason he's not here anymore. So there's dual timelines of currently in the winter time, and then last fall whenever Darlington was there, but now he isn't. Like he's in Spain, and apparently he just like vanished or something, and he's missing. We're kind of going not only in present time to see how she's faring without him, but also in the past to see like what happened to lead up to him being gone. So I'm not really sure how to feel about it yet. It's not the worst thing I've ever read. I just have a really hard time getting into Leigh Bardugo's books. The other one I read of hers was Six of Crows, and I gave it like 2, 3 stars. And it just wasn't, it didn't pull me in really, but at least it was easy to read. This one is such a complicated like system, I feel like, trying to like explain the underground societies of Yale. I'm just very confused. I really don't know what like their purpose actually is. Like they have rituals, and they have to oversee the rituals from other people like in other societies. Like it's just like not really connecting. And I know a lot of other people say you have to read like half of it to actually kind of get it, and then it takes off. But like, I just feel like it should not take this long to get into a book. The world building of hers, like, I just feel like her world building is not working for me. I just don't understand what's going on. She's at Yale. That's it. So I am 50% of the way in, and I'm at an impasse. Number one, before I forget to mention, I found a Ninth House playlist on Spotify, which I'm going to link down in the description below, that I actually really enjoyed. I really love when books have playlists that are made for them on like Spotify, and you can share with other people, and it's public, and it's just so cool to be able to listen to a curated playlist, and I think that really helped with a little bit of the mood. However, this book is still abysmal. I find it incredibly boring, and I forgot that there was sexual assault in this book, and I completely spaced, and I think it's like page like 122 or something, and it is graphic, and she's raped by a ghost. And I'm sorry to put that spoiler in there, but I just thought you should know that is not needed. And it was very sexualized, which is why it really bothers me, because the whole point was to try to show the readers that ghosts are like dangerous and can touch you. And it was just such a sexualized scene, and she's like 12 years old, and I just felt like it was really weird. And I don't like when sexual assault is fetishized or sexualized. Like, it is not a good experience. It is not an experience to be sexualized or fetishized. And I was so annoyed that like she looked in the mirror, and instead of looking at her attacker, which is what we do whenever we are assaulted, she looks at her own face and then watches like her barrette fall out. Again, it just feels like it's such a male gaze sort of thing, and I don't know if I'm in the minority here, and I'm definitely gonna look up reviews because I'm gonna try and finish this for you, and when I try and finish it, then I'm gonna look up all of the reviews and see if anyone else said the same thing. I'm trying not to like spoil myself with the book, hoping that something like interesting is gonna happen, that I'm actually gonna get pulled in. I know people said that it took them like half the book to get into it, so maybe the second half is gonna be better for me. But so far, this is like a male gaze garbage murder mystery, by the way, which I hate. I hate that plot in books that it's like, I don't even care about any of the characters, and it's a murder mystery where basically Alex is trying to frame the societies for the death of this girl, and she's trying to expose the societies, which is partly her job, and I get that. And then also, like, their job is to control ghosts, which was like better explained in another scene where they're trying to keep the ghosts out of the magic rituals, because basically if like the ghost interacts with the ritual when it's happening, it can like unleash magic and like random people can die and stuff. So I got that point, but like there are like two ways you can get rid of ghosts. One of which is carrying like cemetery dust with you and throwing it at them, like graveyard dust, because they don't like things that remind them that they're dead. Okay, interesting concept. Also dumb. And then on top of that, you can just choose like any words you want to that like remind them that they're dead. I think that's so dumb. Like, I guess it's really open-ended, but it just, that scene was so fucking childish and stupid. Like, I was honestly like, I cannot believe this made it past editing. And you can also tell that she's used to writing YA. This just, the dialogue is so stilted, the pacing is awful. There's no pacing, and I'm struggling with it. I just don't even understand how people liked this book, and so many people that I love and respect rated this like 4 or 5 stars. And they're like not seeing all the issues I'm seeing with it. Not only was that sexual assault scene like awful, and I just feel like so misogynistic in how it was like done. If that makes any sense, you'd have to read it to understand, but yeah, I'm not happy with that. And then to be honest, I don't care about any of the characters, and it's an entire novel. Not one character do I like, and I know that everyone loves Darlington, and Darlington's only in the past chapters, and there's nothing in the past chapters that is adding to the present storyline. It's supposed to be giving me backstory, but there's no backstory. Like, I don't care about parts of his childhood. He's not a relevant character because he's not even here in the present timeline. It just doesn't really make any sense, because this is basically told like an elliptical, I think it's called like an elliptical story or something, where basically you start at the beginning, like letting them know what happened and like the ending, and then you go back to like how it happened, which is most present like in literary fiction. And this is not a literary fiction, obviously, and I don't even like literary fiction a lot because they do that. And I feel like if this story was told in the normal way, like time progressing way, I think I would have liked it better. But also, like, our main character Alex, she is the same in the past as she is in the present. Like, she hasn't grown or really changed at all, in my opinion, and it just doesn't really make any sense, like why there even is like a past. Like, I don't really care about Darlington, and like maybe you don't care about Darlington because he's not in the present moments at all, and like all you ever get is like, oh, is this, what would Darlington do? I just feel like I'm on the outside looking in, and I can't get attached to anyone or anything, and it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this was a really long update, but anyway, I will try to continue this as far as I can, and I'm just gonna go back to my workday, and I'm gonna listen to this on audio, and then after work I'm gonna try to listen to it while I play some video games and see if I could just try to get a little bit farther into it, because I really would like to just finish it to give you my full opinions on it, because I guess it's like listenable, but I I don't care. Okay, I'm only like 60% of the way in, but my real update is that I got an Amazon package from my dad, which I was not expecting, and I wanted to give you a little bit of happiness in this otherwise abysmal vlog. So he got me some like silicone spatulas and stuff, which I love. I used to use a lot of wood, but then I realized when I looked up at how much bacteria stays on the wood products, so I've really switched over to silicone. And this is actually a silicone loaf pan. And I was talking to him about how my banana bread is better than his, and he ended up buying me a loaf pan because I don't have a loaf pan, I just have muffin tins, and that's what I've been using. And the pièce de résistance, Skyline Chili. And you probably have no idea what the hell this is unless you're from Cincinnati or you have family in Cincinnati like I do. And this is, it's called Skyline Chili. So true story, I absolutely hate chili, just so we're clear. I actually hate chili, and I don't even like meat sauces, but this is basically a meat sauce, and you put it on top of spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti, and you sprinkle it with cheese and onions. Some people like to put beans on it, and you usually put your oyster crackers on it. It's kind of like a trash play is the best way to describe it. Basically, it's really popular in Cincinnati, and it's something that I'm totally addicted to. My uncle lives there, and ever since I've tried it when I was younger, I've just been obsessed with it, and it's really hard to get here. It's hard anywhere, I think, on like the West Coast. I can't get it, and it's really hard to find. And you can only really pretty much buy it on Amazon. And so sometimes when my dad's feeling extra nice, he'll buy me some. And I'll probably go through these 4 cans in about 2 weeks. Because I will eat it for pretty much every meal because I'm just that obsessed with it. We all have our weird obsessions. So don't judge. And this is one of the best presents you can actually ever get me because I will never be upset at this present. So if you ever feel like getting me anything, just go ahead and send me Skyline Chili. So I finished Ninth House last night and had it on audiobook while I was playing The Sims for a few hours, and I have to say, this is probably the worst book I have read all year. I really don't understand how this book has so good of a rating on Goodreads. Like, I honestly don't understand, other than the fact that people will just follow Leigh Bardugo off of a cliff at this point, because this book was just so bad in every sense of the word. So bad. Not including the racial tones, the sexual tones of this novel that I think are completely inappropriate, and I think she just threw in there to make it more adult. This book had terrible pacing. It was terribly boring. The magic system was terribly explained and had no real good explanation, and it was dumb. All the parts that were explained I thought were just like so stupid. Like, it's such a dumb magic system. Like, this book did not do it for me, and I'm really proud that I finished it, but I have to say I barely paid attention at the end, especially after there was
more sexual assault.
And again, it was done in a very poor manner. The best way to describe it is it just felt like we were watching everything through a male movie director. And let me tell you, if you had given me this book and didn't tell me who wrote it, I 100% the entire way through would have said it was a man. Every woman was described in such a sexual manner, even the dead body. They're talking about like her bikini area. Like, I'm just so disgusted by this novel, to be honest, and it was just so much worse than I imagined. Like, I just thought like maybe I wasn't gonna like it. Kind of boring, dumb magic system that's poorly explained, stupid murder mystery, and then on top of it you throw in terribly done sexual violence representation and pornography and like revenge pornography and revenge videos, and I really don't understand how people actually enjoy this, because I just feel so sick just thinking about this book and the fact that people enjoyed it. I don't know, maybe people just didn't see it the way that I saw it. I mean, obviously, but I'm just pretty upset with how it was done and the fact that there isn't more like protest about this. I just feel like, not the book needs to be canceled, but like this was just not done in a great way. Like, the women versus the men were described very differently. There was a lot of sexual violence in this book that was just like glazed over for a plot point. Like, a girl who was raped in an online video, you know, knows the video happened, knows she was raped by these guys, and then she sees a video of one of them eating human waste out of a toilet, and like suddenly she's better. You're gonna tell me that like you are all's forgiven the minute you see a video of him eating shit? No. There's still gonna be resentment. There's still a lot of feelings. There was no exploring how it actually felt to be violated. And I just felt so disgusted with the fact that it felt like just a plot point. Like, it was never addressed in a healthy, good manner, you know? And I just don't think it was done well at all. And I have to say this is 2 for 2 for Leigh Bardugo writing a bad book for me. So I'm not really sure I'll continue with any of her work. I've never attempted her Shadow and Bone series that everyone talks about. And I'm scared to do it now because after how abysmal this like brand new book of hers was, I'm concerned. I'm sorry, did she not hire sensitivity readers for this fucking book? Because obviously not. Anyway, rant over. I'm done with this book. I finished this big ass book for this series and I'm not really sure if I'll be reading any more of her books in the future. If there's one that's particularly good, let me know, but otherwise, I'm disgusted. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Please let me know if you have any ideas for some big ass books down below, and like, subscribe, and talk to you guys next time. Bye!